is a production of OpsLens.com. OpsLens only hires former members of the intelligence, law enforcement, and military communities. No OpsLens personnel are actively using their security clearances or working in a government capacity.
Welcome to the Hooch, where the only place more messed up than your hosts is the barracks on a Friday night or the VA. So get ready to stand by for your weekly dose of toilet humor and shenanigans from your fellow veterans, Coy Mack and Michael Grizzled Grunt Harris.
Welcome back, America, to the next episode of The Hooch. I'm Coy Mack, and I've got Michael Harris here, as well as Speedo McAwesome, or as we know him as Kevin McAwesome.
Thanks for having me again, gentlemen.
Indeed. Always a pleasure. So, question is...
So, we all sit around and talk shit about people's mamas and stuff, but what if you was alone with your best friend's mom, and your boy went to the store. You was partying at your best friend's house and stuff. He's like, dude, I'm going to the store. And he was there with his mom, and she wanted to do it. And he was like, fuck it, dude, I'm down. And he reached around and grabbed a cock. Would you tell your best friend that his mom is a dude? Would you tell him? Coy, could I tell you that? How would you accept that?
I honestly don't know how I would take that at first. Because, you would think after, 28 years of my life that I would figure that shit out. Like, hey, I didn't walk in on my mom just, peeing standing up. That, you would think that would be a thing that I would figure it out.
Yeah, but, maybe your mom was really good at wiping piss off the toilet. And the whole time she hid that shit from you. The whole time, man. She even bought pads and shit just to fool you. Hey, go get me some pads, baby. And you got her some pads. The whole time you was fooled. And your best friend was like, dude, your mom wanted to fuck.
I just totally got it.
And I reached
Finkel and
Einhorn.
Finkel and Einhorn.
I don't know. Kevin, what would you say about
that? I thought they would have already known. Just kidding, Mom. I love you. I know you're female.
Okay, not to offend anybody here, because you know how PC us here at the Hooch are. Okay. Yeah. But if I did, I would like I said, I would hope I would know. But I mean, I guess I would want you to tell me, because it's that would explain why Dad disappeared when I was 5.
but literally, how would that fuck you up?
Was
mentally?
He your dad?
Mentally, you would be like, what the fuck? All these years I've been celebrating Mother's Day, and I should have been celebrating
when I should have been a father.
How would that fuck you up? Mom, hey, you're going to teach me how to put on a condom now, or you're going to,
Mom, can you tell me the best techniques to tuck it in? Because you have some amazing skills and you've kept this secret for this long.
I think as an adult now, I would just be like, I really don't care. I have way too much going on. As a kid, that'd be a little bit different.
Oh my God.
I think catching your mom peeing standing up would be a very shocking experience.
But okay, as an adult, and she's like, okay. And she changed her voice. She's like, okay, Coy, and she whips it out. And that's just
well, I mean, obviously they're not obviously not gonna just whip it out in front of you. That would be weird.
But what if they did? They'd be like, okay, you want to know? Here it is.
No, I would I would say that would have sounded like Child Protective Services if your parent whipped out the hand in front of you just to show you how big it was. Yeah, that would go over real well.
Let me get a DNA test, because that thing is huge.
No, you would go from a 28-year-old to a 12-year-old instantly.
I regressed an age because of that.
I'll be like, Mom, get your dick out my face.
I don't even know how you manage that for this long. Do you use saran wrap, or do you get I don't know. How do you do that? How do you keep it up?
It probably has to be really fucking small, dude, for you to hide it that long.
No, I mean,
you have to wear those tighty whities. I call them
deduntants. I don't know.
Yeah, I call them deduntants.
And then some people would point to hey, why don't you just do steroids and it'll make your shit smaller? He's like, no, actually, coming from somebody that I have I've met and have been told this, but if you do steroids, apparently it makes your dick bigger, but your ball smaller.
One time I woke up and I thought I was having a nightmare. And I saw my mom standing up peeing, but I thought it was a nightmare. I went back to bed. No, it was fucking true. Your mom pees standing up just like you. I was wondering why my mom was teaching me how to pee when I was a baby.
Now everything makes sense. It all makes sense now. It all makes sense.
Yeah. Mom has a dick.
So,
yeah.
All right. So we got a pretty good show today. We're going to be talking about the DACA as well as North Korea and all the craziness that goes on there. And then we've also got a awesome Blue Falcon story that Michael will be telling later.
Yeah, I was personally a part of it. It's a true story.
True story, because nobody, like, everybody loves true stories. I mean, I love true stories, especially when they happen to friends that I know.
Yeah, it's going to be, I'm going to tell it in full detail as a drill sergeant.
Right.
Might even use a drill sergeant voice at one point.
So speaking of friends, Michael, apparently I saw this on Facebook today, or it was a couple of days ago, that apparently even if you have black friends, you're still racist.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Well, if you can count your black friends, if you can count them like 1, 2, 3, that's enough. You're probably fucking racist. You have a house party. You're like, okay, I have a bunch of people coming over, and you're like standing in front of your door, and the first 3 black guys come in. You're like 1, 2, 3, and the 4th black guy, you cut him off. You're probably racist as fuck. You're like 1, 2, 3. That's enough, black friends. Picture time.
But okay, so
sorry, bro, we reached our limit.
Yeah, you have to meet the time frame. So you're saying if I turned it into a diversity list, right, and then I let in a certain amount of minority groups in and then count them off, that's not racist?
Well, it just depends. It depends on if that is it's the end game, So
okay.
You're having a party and you're like, okay, I'm having a party. Most of my friends are fucking white, but I don't want to come off as a racist because this is a live feed. And, if I don't have no people of diversity in here, I'm a bald-headed white guy with a fucking pirate freaking goatee,
Oh yeah, I love my goatee.
If I don't have any people of color in here, I might come off as a racist. And then you're standing outside your fucking door. People are showing up, and you're just posting outside, smoking a cigarette, sitting on your fucking sitting on a chair and shit. You're like, okay, first black guy, okay, bro, you're good. Second black guy, all right, bro, you're good. 3rd black guy, you're like, okay, bro, you're good. 4th black guy, you'd be like, get the fuck out of here. You're a racist. You're racist as fuck.
We have our filled.
I don't have enough chicken for all you motherfuckers.
By the way, I did not say that. That was Michael.
Yeah, no, that was all Michael, and I can't get as a white guy, I can't get away with saying any of that shit. Like Michael can get away with anything because he's black, right? Like
he's black skin.
Yeah, I'm a multi-cult.
Wait, did you say he's Blaxican?
Yes.
Yeah, Mexican and black, bro.
See,
but you don't speak Spanish.
I know habla nothing, but
he's from that LBC.
Yeah.
Okay, so like if he makes fun of any,
if I make fun of Mexicans, I'm like, hey, bro, I got you, bro. I'm good.
I'm one of you, right? Like, what was that? Like, if you've got like if you got a drop, like then it counts.
Yeah, I have a drop of everything, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, there's some, I mean, anybody who says I have one black friend, come on, bro. Why do you have to tell people that? I know this black guy. How many black people do you fucking know?
I have a black friend, one black friend.
I have one black friend that I allow to my house. And then that one black friend always has to be the whitest black guy. That's what they call me. You're the whitest black guy I know. I'm like, why?
Well, I mean, I guess it's better than being called a race traitor.
Yeah, true. But I get called that too. I get called that.
It's like, you can't win, man. You can't win.
Yeah. And when I have my parties, I'm sitting at the door counting black people coming. I'm like, 1, 2, 3, that's a fucking enough. I should be the only motherfucker in here. I go to parties with my white friends. There's the black guy there. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here, bro? Get the fuck out.
What skit was that where they actually did that? Like, I remember that so well.
That was from that movie.
Was it not another teenage movie?
Not another teenage movie.
Oh yeah, it's like, bro, it's like, I'm the only black guy that's supposed to be here. Oh shit, bro, I didn't know.
Yeah, bro, get the fuck out of here, bro. What are you doing here?
Like, this is my party.
I get mad when I'm hanging out with my white friends and there's another black guy there. I'm like, what? Was it
Van Wilder too?
I don't know, bro. Van Wilder too? Was there a Van Wilder?
No,
too?
Van Wilder.
There's like 3 of them.
That's what I meant.
What?
Oh yeah, but there was 3 Van Wilder films. None of the other ones after the first one was any good. So, no worries, you didn't miss much.
I don't know. So the biggest thing is like they always ask if black people listen to heavy metal.
Yes.
Well, do you?
And I always ask, I'm like, they were like, Michael, what's your favorite heavy metal band? I'm like, dude, I love some fucking Deftones. I love fucking Deftones. Coy, what's yours?
I was always partial to System of a Down. Like that was kind of my favorite, like in the heavy metal area.
You're kind of a rebel.
Even though they
You're
were
a
like
little bit
very
of a
like anti, just about everything. Like I still like their music. I don't know. I'm good with that. What about you, Mike?
I told you, bro. Deftones. I have a big genre, man. I'm a very ambient type of style. I grew up in the freaking 80s and stuff. So I grew.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You're an old crusty.
Dude, I'm 40. Come on, I'm not that crusty. I'm crustier than you guys, but I got a bigger dick than you guys still. But I'm a big. Because I'm black.
We're whipping them out after this.
I'm a black guy. Black don't crack. But I've always been. I'm a big '90s type of rock guy, man. I grew up around the Korn era. I grew up around Tool, Deftones, System of a Down, Metallica. I grew up in that grunge era. Pearl Jam, Nirvana, Stone Temple Pilots. Incubus, man. All these bands that came up in that era. So my type of music is very broad when it comes to rock music. But I would say that my number one band is the Deftones. Kevin.
That was a pretty good list.
Oh, you.
What about you, Kev?
I've always been a huge fan of Hatebreed.
You're a rebel too.
I love me some Hatebreed.
You live dangerously, don't you?
One step at a time.
What is it about like vets and their heavy metal? Like, why do we like heavy metal as much as we do?
It's modal music, man. Most of us are freaking hard dick killers, and that's the music. That's the music that gets us pumped up, man, where we're going on this fucking patrol or this freaking, we're going out to fucking do what we do best, what we get trained to do. You throw on a little bit of heavy metal, man. I don't give a damn. You can get a black dude, man, from the inner city. So I grew up in the inner city from Long Beach. And I never listened to fucking heavy metal. I didn't know what the hell that crap was. I listened to Snoop Dogg, Tupac. I went to basic training. So I met this, this white dude from California too. And he gave me, what's that? What's that song? 90s band. It was an song. That's all it was called.
Sounds like a porno.
It does sound like a porno, but I have no idea.
Once there was this girl who got into an accident. It was that song. And so I bought.
Why does that sound like a Jack Black song?
Yeah. I was saying,
that's not. That's how they sound, Jack Black. But I bought, and so we got our family pass, and I bought. I think it was Snoop Dogg's new CD, and he bought this CD, and we traded. We had CD players. Dude, I fell in love with like rock music. And then I started listening to Pearl Jam. I got the Fort Stewart, and my roommate listened to Pearl Jam and Nirvana and all these bands I never freaking
Crash Test
even
Dummies.
thought of listening to. Crash Test Dummies. There you go.
Google.
So the Crash Test Dummies. And then, dude, I've been hooked ever since. I always love hip hop. I love all music, country and everything. But rock is one of those music that just gets me pumped the hell up. You can listen to that shit anytime.
Hey, I'll tell you what gets my dick hard.
Oh, shit. That sounds like a motherfucking A10.
Boom. 30 Mike.
Playing Pink Mist all over the place.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, that is the infantry guy's favorite sound. Just, like, listening to an A10, just go.
Yeah, as an infantryman, Kevin wouldn't know nothing about infantryman shit. He's a fucking pogue in the Army. No, I'm kidding.
Actually, I was in the Navy.
He was in the Navy. He was a sailor.
But
we can sell this.
I rolled around with some pretty cool bearded fellows.
Yeah, Kevin, we're not knocking you, bro.
That's about the only cool claim to fame that I can hold on to.
The next favorite sound in the world to an infantry guy or any like that guy would be this.
Oh, that's that mini.
Sounds.
Hey, I done seen a lot of dudes fucking pink misted out that motherfucker. Hey, you want to shoot at us from wood line because you're hiding behind some fucking little trees? Wait a minute. Here you go. Well, and you remember that video I posted of me shooting a minigun on Facebook? Did you see that?
I did. I don't know why I didn't think of pulling that one and bringing it on here. So you're gonna play it for the
dude,
listeners.
that gun is no joke, and it will move a fucking Mat V. It will not knock it over, nothing crazy, but you will feel the Mat V kind of like, and this shit is so fucking loud. You know, it is so. If you're not wearing, ear pro around that thing, dude, you can go deaf. Like literally. That thing is super loud.
I bet.
Yeah, it's man.
I am supremely jealous that you got to shoot it. Like I watched the video and I was just like, God damn it! My life has no meaning now.
Yeah, I got to shoot it and I got to see it, splatter fucking tallies all over the fucking place, little shitheads.
So okay, Kev, like, what's the best gun you've ever shot?
I would say. Rifle-wise, H&K 416. Machine gun-wise, even though I shot the Ma Deuce, 240 was just... There was something about it that I was just like, I like this thing. We're going to be friends.
So doesn't like that.
So, Kevin, if you can pick the 240 or the M60, which one would you pick?
Probably the 240 because I know how to, take it apart and whatnot. My dad was an old pig guy, so he probably would pick the 60.
Well, me being the old crusty guy here, I would pick the M60 over the 240 any day. M60
and I wouldn't choose it just because of the jamming that would be involved with the M60 versus the 240.
Yeah, but the rate of fire for the 240 is faster. Yeah. But just that mother freaking 60, dude, if that motherfucker's working right, that thing is laying some fucking pain on your ass.
But isn't that most machine guns if it's working right? Well, like common intelligence, if it's working right, then it's good. But if it's not, it's terrible.
G3.
The 50 is probably the most hyped up fucking machine gun out there. And most of the time, 99% of the time, that motherfucker's jamming. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Fuck this. Fuck the 50, man. Yeah, it's a 50 caliber. Everybody hypes it up because it's a big caliber of a round, and if it's working right, of course,
and it's 100 years old, and it's still
yeah, you can. Yeah, it's 100 years old. You can split some fucking bodies with that thing.
Wait, what wasn't it like the 30 cal that was like water cooled, from World War II, and like that would have been fun to shoot. I think like if I could ever shoot a 30 cal like machine gun, that would be sick. So whoever out there that has one that's listening, please hit us up and let us know.
Yeah, man. If I was back in the day and I had to choose one weapon, it would be the fucking flamethrower. Dude, I mean that's probably one of the most riskiest jobs in Vietnam or in World War II that you can have. But just imagine running into one of those freaking, those bunkers and just hitting that thing with a fucking flamethrower.
Light it up.
And watching these motherfuckers run out and burn. Just like, you have to be a sadistic motherfucker to burn people alive, like for real.
And to Michael's therapist, he really doesn't mean this.
No, he does not.
No, I don't. No, my therapist tells me that I should only use
flamethrowers for good.
Nice soothing words. Yes.
Matches and bubble guns. The ones that shoot bubbles.
No, I think you need bubble wrap so you can just like pop it at people. Yeah. Pop. But like, I mean, in the United States, it's not illegal to own a flamethrower. It's considered a garden tool.
Yeah.
Kind
of. Oh, really?
You can buy one.
Yes, you can own one.
In Austin, they have
Kevin, you know a guy, right?
Yes, I do. Adam from Fighter Design. They're about $900, backpack and all.
Who doesn't want a flamethrower? You heard that, so go get yourself one.
Adam.
Anyway, we're gonna get moving on. So, let's
expect a flamethrower to be on my front porch tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Please give us a flamethrower. We will do free advertising for you if you give us a flamethrower. I promise.
Exactly.
So, speaking of vets, Michael, you want to talk about some veteran drama you faced recently?
Oh man, the veteran drama is real right now, and there's a lot of infighting within the hierarchy of the veteran community. And I'm not talking about the CEOs and the guys doing it. I'm talking about just a lower level of vets that are usually running a page or something. You know, the infighting starts, and then they contact the people in charge, and the people in charge get involved, and you just hear about all this crap. So I did a rant the other day on Facebook, and I was just like, you know, this shit needs to stop. You know, we're sitting here infighting, but yet when we're in uniform, we would die for each other. But when it comes to money, we're sitting here fighting over whose product is better, whose coffee is better, whose t-shirt is better. Like, who gives a shit? You know, veterans are supporting your group. Most of the people that are infighting, veterans are supporting all those groups. Me, I buy Grunt Style, I buy Black Rifle, I buy Art 15, I buy, you know, In the Arena. I buy every single product out there that I like.
Yeah, because you like to support other veterans.
Yeah, so why is it a competition? Because most people are probably supporting all those groups. So I went in this whole rant, and I'm just like, you know, these guys got to stop this shit, you know, and we got to start supporting each other, because at the end of the day, there is not a small veteran company coming up that posts on your page that is stealing from you. They're not taking anything from you. But as a $1 million or whatever, however much money you make company, if you got this guy that is a local guy posting on a local page that wants to support a local company, why not fucking let him? Because it's not hurting your product. This is your page. People are on this page because of you. So this little guy over here is not hurting you. So I just went on a rant, and it probably got like 1,300, and I don't even know how many views, 1,342 views. And then all of a sudden, you know, all these vets will start coming out. I don't know if it was because of my video. I don't know if I was, you know, the one that struck the match. But all of a sudden, everyone's, you know, I'm getting all these messages on Instagram and all these other platforms talking about, yeah, bro, check this out, you know. And I'm just like, wow. And everyone's, you know, they're trying to, you know, the defense went up. Like, oh, that's not me, you know, we're not like that. And I have nothing against any of these groups. Nothing against any of them. But the only beef I have is stay true to yourself. Stay true to the veteran community. Because that is who is putting money in your pockets. You're claiming to be a veteran. Veterans are wearing your shit. You're getting free advertisement from veterans. So if a veteran that's wore your shit for 8 years, whatever, and he comes to you and says, hey man, can I post this on your page? I'm trying to start, I got a small t-shirt business. And you tell him no? That's some bullshit to me. It's not like he's trying to take anything from you. If anything, he would use you to boost your product more. Be like, thanks to fucking this company for helping me out, man. Without them, I would never be here. But everything is money. They're worried about somebody else taking their fucking product or taking their clientele. So that's all I posted, man. It was a rant. I just went off. I was pissed off. It is what it is, man. If people don't like it, I really don't give a shit. But, Kevin knows more than me about, what's going on in this community. So I'll let him talk about it.
Okay, Kev, like what's going on? Like, what can you add to this?
Michael covered it pretty well. Just from what I've seen in my very limited view, like I said, Mike touched it pretty good. It's more the local, lower, I guess, like common vets like ourselves that are doing most of it. From what I've seen, this is just me, just my observance. It's most of us guys, just the normal everyday 9-to-5 guys that are doing most of the bickering than everybody else, from what I've seen.
And I think it's just a lot of people not getting the idea of, cross promotion, especially at a, lower level. Like marketing is like such a big thing. Like being able to, get your product out to see the most amount of people. Yeah, it's an important thing. I mean, they're not trying to steal your patrons. What they're trying to get is like, to be seen. Like they need your help. Like we should be helping other veteran organizations like that, other businesses that are like that. It's like, yeah, that's great. That just makes the competition better. That makes us better. That makes America better. I mean, that's like, as us three being, very right-leaning conservatives, like that's what we believe in, right? It's like free market competition. Like that makes everything healthy. It makes everything good to help people out when they need it.
Yep.
So like, I don't get that. Like of taking somebody and putting them down and saying, no, I'm not going to help you with your business because I'm already successful. It's like, no, now you're just being a dick.
Yeah, and the thing is like the biggest problem I had with it was there were certain pages, certain people that posted on a certain page, and because they posted something, they're pretty much wiped off the page. I'm like, why? Why?
Yeah, I don't get that. Like, nobody deserves a ban for that.
And maybe we're getting half the story. We really don't know. There's two sides of the story, and then there's screenshots. So
yeah,
you got two sides of the story, and then there's screenshots. So when the screenshots don't fucking lie, bro.
But then you have some outside sources who think they're mightier than thou, who make up their own itinerary, saying it's part of the grand scheme, yet it's not.
Yeah, I hear that.
I get you. I don't know. That's just bullshit. I mean, but like, I wouldn't expect that from the veteran community. I would understand if that was like regular civilian population, but like to say that it was a fellow veteran doing that sucks. Like, it really does, because we're better than that.
Yeah, we are, and we always should be, man. We're ambassadors of this country. Whether we're in uniform or not in uniform, people always look at veterans. They put us on this fucking pedestal.
Yeah.
Which a lot of us don't want to be on that pedestal a lot of times, but it
thank you for your service.
Yeah, it is what it is, right? It is something. It is what it is. They put us to this standard, this higher standard, and when these civilians that follow these pages are seeing this infighting, they're like, you know what?
Yeah,
veterans are no different.
They're no better than us.
They're no better. They can't even get along outside of uniform. So once they take off the uniform, they're just like every other fucking civilian out there.
Right? And we got to be a better example.
And we got to hold ourselves to a higher standard.
Mike, I just wanted to say thank you for your service.
Don't bro.
Doesn't that is the most awkward statement ever?
And when most people say that, thank you for your service, I'm like, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome for mine.
Welcome. I don't know what to say.
Like, there's no way to like capitalize on that without sounding like a
you're
dick
welcome.
Ever.
I guess.
Yeah, I'm just like, you're welcome. Thank you. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I served in Afghanistan and whatever, and did some stuff in the Marine Corps, and it's like, thank you for your service. And I'm like,
speaking of thanking people for their service, you know what pisses me the fuck off is that asshole on Veterans Day that wears his uniform to fucking Applebee's. I'm like, really, dude? Are you that fucking guy?
The only time that's
thank you.
The only time that's okay is
some fucking private EQ with his dog tags on. Shut the fuck. Get the fuck out of here.
The best ones are the ones that have like an Army shirt on or a Marine Corps shirt on or Navy shirt, what have you, tucked in with their work boots, and then they have like the dog tags hanging outside of their shirt.
And they're out the military and they still have a high and tight.
I think the worst one would be showing up in dress blues. It's like if Kevin showed up in a Cracker Jack.
Bro,
like,
true story. True fucking story. True story. So I was in Vegas. And you had a bunch of Marines walking around in their dress blues in casinos.
Okay, that's different.
And it was probably the Marine Corps birthday.
No. And they were just, no, it wasn't Marine Corps' birthday. It was way before it. And I'm just like, really? Are you fucking serious? And everybody was like, thank you for your service. And they were a bunch of boot-ass fucking Marines. Fresh out of fucking boot camp.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, they're assholes.
And they were boots, man. I can tell, dude. I was a fucking E6 at that time. And I'm looking at these dude. I know a boot when I see one. They're walking around looking all hard and shit, trying to look straight faced. I'm just like, dude, you're a
no blood stripe or anything.
Motherfucker. Nothing.
Right. They're just
really,
looking like they're constipated.
You could have easily went to your hotel
a bunch of PFCs
room,
and Lance Coolies.
taken off your fucking uniform. Came down here and enjoyed the fucking casino. But you wanted to be the center of attention. And the same thing with fucking soldiers. The soldiers are the worst, man. Especially these National Guard motherfuckers. Or these, I'm sorry, National Guard. National Guard.
I will not admit that I was a National Guard member for a year.
Yeah. They can be the worst. They walk around and then I saw no shit. 3 weeks ago, I went to In-N-Out Burger. There was a National Guard guy in his uniform walking in.
Did he have his Texas T like Arrowhead too?
I don't know. He had a first calf patch on. No, he wasn't.
Okay,
so he's active duty.
No, he was Army.
Yeah. He's active duty. He's way down here in Pflugerville. And he's walking in fucking in and out, and I'm looking at this motherfucker. I'm like, what
the fuck is he doing in Pfluger? I mean, was he like at like
I don't know, bro.
the base there? Like
I was on my day. It was my day off, so it was like a Wednesday. It was a Wednesday because I was driving down south to see a buddy. So I stepped down to get a burger. He's walking in with his Dependa, and I'm sitting here looking at him, and I'm like, what the fuck, bro? I'm looking at him, and he parked right next to me, and he saw me get in my truck, so he knew. I'm infantry the fuck out of my shit. He knows I'm a motherfucking vet. I looked at him. I was like, all right.
Motherfucker. Like, okay, like the weirdest thing was when I transitioned to, it sounds so dirty when I say it like that, but when I turned into a National Guard tampon, I went from the Marine uniform to an Army uniform, and it was the weirdest experience of my life because like we're not allowed to wear like camis out in town. Like you can't wear a Marine uniform out in town. Like that's a big no-no. And then I put it on and I'm like, wait, I can walk outside. It was like a Sound of Music, me just spinning around on a hilltop. Like that's like the kind of experience it was.
I remember
going and drop that freaking soundbite for him on that.
Right?
When I was coming back for R&R, it was a whole bunch of soldiers, sailors, Marines. And there was this one Marine that I specifically remember because we all kind of got split up. And right after we landed and before we could even get our bags, he ran to the bathroom and changed. Like, and I was like, bro, and he was I want to say he was either a sergeant or a staff sergeant. I couldn't remember if he had a rocker or not. But I was like, bro, why did you change? He goes, we can't wear uniforms outside the airport. And I was like,
you can't do that.
Like, you're still in transit.
The days to get
it was his tan camis too. He was coming back from Afghanistan.
Yeah, Marines used to get
as soon as you touch
it was crazy.
Oh yeah, as soon as you touch ground, it's like, no, you've got to put civilian clothes on.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, why?
I mean, unless you're in Charlie's, if you want to wear a uniform out in town, put on some Chucks, then you're fine.
Dude, you can see that he was like afraid.
Yeah, my biggest thing was this young Marine in Iraq, my first tour. You know, he worked with us, and he was like, he kept calling me Gunny. I was like, hey, motherfucker, I'm not fucking Gunny. I was like, call me Sergeant,
hey,
but that's not your rank. I was like, motherfucker, you can call me Corporal. I'm still fucking getting paid. You know, you can call me Private. I'm still getting paid. It don't fucking matter. Stop calling me. No, he said staff. He used to say Staff Sergeant. I'm sorry. So I was in a Sergeant First Class. He said, hey, Staff Sergeant. I was like, dude, this shit sounds weird, dude. Come on, stop.
Oh, yeah. Stop it.
Yeah,
but like, see, that's like beating into you though. You gotta say the rank, man.
That's what was weird.
Hey, Staff Sergeant.
Being with the Army for a while was, it didn't matter if you were fucking E5 or I think even all the way up to E8. It was sergeant, and I was like, wait, but you're a staff sergeant. You're a sergeant first class. Why don't we call you what you are? Oh, that's not how we do things. But God forbid you call sergeant major or master sergeant.
Well, that's different. Yeah. Master sergeant's still a sergeant. No. Once you get to sergeant major, you have to call him sergeant major.
Oh yeah,
master sergeant's still a sergeant. You know, that's just the way the Army does it. But now you can still call him Master Sergeant. No one's gonna knock you for saying, "Hey, Master Sergeant," or First Sergeant and Sergeant Major. So you can't call a First Sergeant Sergeant. But Sergeant First Class, they'd be like, "Hey, Sergeant. Hey, Sergeant. Hey, Sergeant. Hey, Sergeant. Hey, Sergeant."
That one's the one that got me.
Now, Drill Sergeant, you better call my motherfucking ass Drill Sergeant.
Oh yeah, and that is a different story than a different day.
We'll get into that one.
All right, so we'll transition into that one at another date and time. But for now, we got to go into our next segment, which is going to be talking about the Dreamers Act that everybody's up in arms with recently. Yeah. Okay, this is another one of those things where people make it sound worse than it is. And from my point of view, look, it sucks. You know, kids getting dragged over the border, staying here. You know, they don't have a choice in that. I get that. And you want them to have a good life. Cool. I'm cool with that. But the way that was done through Obama was wrong because it should have gone through Congress and they should have passed it as a law because that's the way the separation of powers work. If you start letting presidents be able to get away with that shit, right? If you let them get away with that, then they'll just keep doing it. And then there's no point in having Congress anymore. And then we have a kingship. Yay, dictators. Right? So, like, I don't know. Mike, what's your opinion on this?
I don't know, man. You know, at the end of the day, the Dreamer shit, their parents broke the law. And Michael Harris, I don't believe that any person that's not a citizen that comes here and has a child, their child should be granted citizenship.
Yeah, and like just about every other country in the world doesn't do that anymore for that exact reason.
So if I was the president, I would be like, okay, we're going to stop the Dreamers Act. The Dreamers Act is going to end at this year. So we're going to give you till 2019. Let's say that. But from this point on, any non-citizen that comes to this country and has a baby, your baby will not be granted citizenship unless, as our policies say, one of your parents are American citizen. So the Dreamers Act is already violating the Constitution. It's already violating the laws. If both parents are not citizens, that child should not be granted citizenship. So all these kids out there that are 25 and 30 years old out here protesting, if both of your parents were not citizens and they had you here legally, you're not a citizen based off the law.
Right, because it doesn't. They also don't apply for the Dreamers Act because they were supposed to be they had to have been brought before they were 16 years old. Back in like 2007, like that was the cutoff time for that. So anybody that was born here at that time doesn't technically apply for the Dreamers Act anyway.
Yep. So, which is and like I said before, it's like you have these 25 and 30-year-old kids protesting about the Dreamers Act. It doesn't make any.
Are they really like kids if they're 30?
Well, the Dreamers Act applies to till the 31,
like that, all the way up until the 30.
So it shouldn't apply to that. Now, I got it. It wasn't these kids' fault that their parents jumped the border and came over here. But it's not America's fault either that your parents broke the fucking law. It's not our fault. Your parents broke the law. The law is a law. And, I get into it a lot with a lot of freaking, pro-immigration people. I go, let me ask you a question. If I robbed a bank, I didn't kill anyone, Robin Hood style. I went in there, took the money because my son had cancer and I couldn't afford to pay for it. But I was taking this money to pay for my son's cancer treatment. That was it. And I only took the amount of money that they wanted. And I paid for it. My son's living. 20 years from now, they find me. Should I go to jail? And that's the same thing. Because I was doing something for a good cause. I was doing something because it was hardship at that time. So should I be held accountable for what I did? Same thing goes with people jumping the border and these kids. Just because your parents did it 20 years ago for a good cause doesn't mean they didn't break the law. The law is the law. So...
yeah, and it applies to everyone.
So they should be held accountable, just like someone who robbed a bank. The law is the law. Sorry, it fucking sucks. Blame your parents for making bad decisions. Kevin, what you got to say about it?
Yeah.
I don't really have too much. I didn't even know anything about it till last year, because most of the people that I knew that that were immigrants in general, came here personally that I knew, either came here via visa, got their green card. And I know all of us have seen nationalization fucking.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's like a lot of people come here legally and they get nationalized once they do their service. Like, yeah.
They finish all their tests and requirements while they're in. I remember we were on a cruise one time in the middle of the Pacific, and there was like 200 people on the ship. They got naturalized. That's what it is, I think. Whatever. They got their citizenship that day, and so I thought that's fucking pretty cool, because they were from everywhere, across the world.
Yeah, no. Like, if you've ever seen a nationalization ceremony, it's awesome. Like, it's a proud moment, as an American. It really is. Like, I like going to those. Like, those are cool. Like, they're awesome to see. Yeah, and they did. So, okay, let's get Kevin up to speed. I have a soundbite from CNN where they're talking about this exact topic. Take a listen.
For 5 years, nearly 800,000 undocumented young people have been able to live in the U.S. without constant fear of deportation. That's all thanks to DACA, the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program. It was started by President Barack Obama in 2012. It allows young immigrants who came to the U.S. illegally as children to apply for a renewable 2-year visa. That allows them to work legally in the U.S. and saves them from deportation. So, who qualifies? Those who have been in the U.S. since 2007 and came before they turned 16, and those who were under the age of 31 before June 15, 2012, when DACA went into effect. Applicants must be in school, have a high school diploma, or be a military veteran, and they must have a mostly clean criminal record. It's important to note, the status doesn't put participants on a path to legal permanent residency or citizenship, but it does mean these immigrants can get things like driver's licenses, credit cards, and open bank accounts. A recent survey found that after being approved for DACA, 5% of recipients started their own businesses, and 16% bought a home for the first time. Some critics say DACA is unconstitutional because Obama introduced it by executive action and without congressional approval. They also argue that DACA promotes future illegal immigration because it signals that if you come here illegally, there are ways to be able to stay. Ultimately, ending the program would remove 800,000 people from the U.S. workforce. And the left-leaning Center for American Progress estimates that if that happens, over the next decade, the economy could risk losing nearly $500 billion.
Okay, so now that you heard that, there's a couple things I have to point out about that.
Records.
So, do you know what $500 billion? Yeah, mostly clean. But do you know what $500 billion is?
$500 billion.
What is it?
$10
over 2 years, right?
But why couldn't they just say
they have to use a bigger number to make
I know,
it sound
right? I had to use the trillion.
They had to make it sound scary.
It is scary. And what's really funny about this is that the current USD GDP right now, as of today, is $18.57 trillion per year. Per year. I had to say that per year because like the numbers are right there. And the Center for American Progress, the people that they cited, if you actually go down their rabbit hole of things, that 460 billion or that, close to number that they said is if they got rid of all unauthorized immigrant workers in the US, not the dreamers, all unauthorized workers. Yeah. Thanks, CNN. Thanks again for that, because I had to go down and do the research for you.
Words here and there, just to kind of make their point more drastic.
It just more drastic, and it's crazy. So you're saying that we'll lose that much over 10 years, right? Which isn't really that bad if you really think about how much money is actually coming in per year. It's like, okay, then we're talking about less than a couple of percent a year that we'd be losing. So that doesn't really strengthen your point, but it sounds scarier if I say it's $500 billion
with a T.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
Over 10 years.
I mean, that's what the mainstream media does, man. They throw out these percentages and these crazy numbers, and most Americans aren't going to research that shit.
We know you're not going to research, so we're going to make
numbers like you do, boy. Like, Corey, right? I'm a knuckle dragger, man. I'm a knuckle dragging motherfucker. So me personally, I would have been like $500 billion. I'd be like, yep, $500 billion. And then it didn't take, but for you to say, you know what $1 trillion is? I was like, oh fuck, damn,
right?
A numbers person actually fucking enlightened my ass. So
what's really funny though, that is I am terrible at math. I just happen to look at the numbers, do a little calculation, and it's like, oh well, that makes sense. It's like you look at, I'm using the same sources that they are. I'm going in and looking at the same people that they were quoting, which is funny though, because the citing that they used for that particular article, cited another internal article from the same site that had a correction that said it was actually all immigrants and not dreamers. It's like, okay, seriously, your research team didn't find that? I found that in 10 minutes.
They didn't want to find it. They're like, oops, I guess we missed that one.
No, they didn't. I totally missed that one.
The majority of their people the people that watch them are freaking mostly uninformed. They're all uninformed. So the most of them, I guarantee you're going to hear the narrative from half these freaking idiots out there. They're going to be like, $1 trillion. That's what they're going to say. They're going to be like,
it's going to be $1 trillion. $1 trillion over 10 years. It's like, no, it's not.
Say. And they said $500 billion.
They said half a trillion, but it's actually 500 billion.
And 500 billion, and it's probably lower than that. It's probably
what's funny about that? You know what we could eliminate to make up for almost half of that already right now today? We can eliminate the Air Marshal Service, which costs 200 million.
Yeah.
Which is a useless program.
I watched something about them
a year, and we can probably make that up in about the same time. And a couple other programs. Yeah, like no, it was I saw it on Adam Room's Everything, which even though it's a left leaning show, I like it. I enjoy it. It's fun for me. So, but like it's true. Like sometimes you get.
I love some Joe Biggs.
It's a thing about journalism and having integrity. Like this is one of those things that I dislike about media when they take numbers and they skew it to fit a narrative. Like even when Fox News does it or any of these other ones do it. Like if you skew numbers, like I try to be honest with mine. If I can't find the right numbers, I'll make sure that if I'll correct it if it isn't. But this is obvious manipulation.
Well, here's the biggest thing between the right and the left. The right majority of the time tries to be honest to me with the numbers and everything else because they know
they really don't do it well.
But a lot of their viewers are pretty informed. With the left, we're messing with a bunch of mental fucking midgets, man. So they can throw out.
It's okay. You can say that because it's black.
$1.5 quadrillion, and they're gonna be like, quadrillion.
Did you just
that's
assume?
A new number.
That's a really big number.
And you'll see them out there saying it. They'll regurgitate that shit. They'll be like, yeah, I heard it's going to cost us $1.5 quadrillion. And my professor told me that.
My professor told me.
My professor is smarter than you.
To this one place said on Facebook.
Yeah.
That he knows things. And
he wouldn't lie, guys.
He knows things.
Lie.
And he told me that Donald Trump's a racist.
No. Yeah, he totally told me that.
Total Nazi.
Racist.
Right. Speaking of Nazis and, little people, Kim Jong-un and his nuclear threats. This whole thing has been insane.
What do you mean it's insane?
And like I said it before, he's black. He can get away with that.
I just want to drop a bunch of news on America.
That is Michael Harris.
Not really. But no, here's the thing.
This is.
Yeah, go ahead. Say Grizzle. Go ahead, Kevin. So here's the thing with Kim Jong-un. That dude's just a spoiled little bad haircut brat. You know what I mean? This dude sits up here and I guess he failed a way to put a hydrogen bomb in one of his
ICBMs.
What's it called? ICBMs.
ICBMs.
Yeah. So he figured out a way to put a hydrogen bomb in one of his ICBMs. Think about it. Why the fuck would you tell us that? Think about it. Why the fuck would
because he's
full of shit.
No. He's absolutely insane. Like I believe it because like the intelligence is there. Like even Russia is saying it's there. China is saying it's there. Everybody in the world is saying it's there. Like if it would have been just like U.S., hey, it's weapons of mass destruction all over again. No, like it's the whole world confirming the intelligence reports of this. Like that's the only thing that's why I believe it. It's because everybody's saying it's there.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna send that motherfucker. I'm gonna figure out his address. And I'm gonna send him a copy of fucking Team America. I'm like, you need to watch this shit.
That's a funny subject.
Hey, no. You know what I'm gonna send him? You wanna know what I'm sending him?
What? A little bit of A10 action. I'm like, here's the thing with Kim Jong, or whatever the fuck this motherfucker's name is. The minute he does that, the first thing he's gonna do, he's gonna go in hiding. He's not going to stand there tall talking shit. He's going to go in hiding. The first place we're going to hit is Pyongyang. We all know it. Everyone knows it.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to blow Pyongyang off the map. That's the hub. And then what does he have? South Korea is going to roll up. They're going to roll through there and they're going to push Kim Jong-un shit in. And then Japan's going to come in. And America is not really going to do shit. America's going to be sitting back in South Korea, banging all the Korean wives.
South Carolina?
Of the guy, banging all the Korean guys' wives.
I thought you were going to say banging all the Korean guys.
Well, we can do that too. They're just as small.
I mean, if that's your thing, good on you, man. Good on you.
29,000 troops there.
But
It's not Thursday.
We got,
it's not
29
Thursday.
We got 29,000 troops.
No, it's
there,
not
don't
Midnight
we?
Thursday. It's cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, we do, and like that's the biggest problem with that is that the artillery lines that are there would wipe out majority of Seoul before we could get.
It's going to be back and
that's
forth
within
for
the first
3-4
hour.
hours.
Like that's
just nonstop. Yeah,
and then it's going to last for days after that. There's a major force that go in there. But the thing I found interesting about the last Security Council meeting, I mean, this is going to be pretty much aired like a couple of weeks from now anyway. But like as of yesterday, September 4th, this is what France had to say. And
it is particularly to the international community as a whole that I call for there to be a clear-headed, resolute approach with a full grasp of the gravity of the situation. Clearly, each of us today is concerned by this, for each of us is threatened. Sir, let us be frank. In the course of a few months, the threat has changed both in dimension and nature. The threat is no longer merely regional. It is now a global threat. It is no longer a virtual threat. It is now an imminent threat. It is no longer merely a serious threat. It is now an existential threat. This grave global threat undermines our security, it undermines strategic stability, and undermines international peace. Through this sixth nuclear test, the Pyongyang regime persists in violating its obligations and in defying us. Each North Korean action reflects a reckless, ongoing, methodical effort on the part of the regime to, as soon as possible, deliver on its dangerous obsession. I am referring to the possession of an operational nuclear arsenal, which is designed to shift not only regional but also global balances. The combination of nuclear capacity to which I referred and North Korean intercontinental ballistic missiles. Now,
so like even France, right? France of all people is saying this shit's fucked up. Like that's like this is what's surprising to me is like later on in that same speech, he goes on to say that France is one to believe in dialogue, but you guys are all fucked up.
But here's the thing, man.
I'm paraphrasing, obviously.
France can't even control their own fucking shit, and they're in Paris. So they're big talk. You know, France, get the fuck out of here, France. You can't even control what's going on in your own fucking country. You're talking big on North Korea. What the fuck are you going to do? I mean, it sounds cool. It sounds cool at the UN. But, like, really, do we take France serious? France is the same people that says, you know, we have global warming and shit. But that's another topic. But do we really take France serious? They can't even control Muslims, you know, doing random rapings and killing people in their own fucking country.
That is a totally different topic. But yes, I understand where you're going with that. I think listening to the UK might be better. You want to listen?
Yeah.
Let's listen.
Yep.
This is the sixth time that the Security Council has come together to condemn a nuclear test by North Korea. The sixth time that the world has held its breath. North Korea is the only country in the 21st century to have conducted such tests against all international standards of behavior. In addition, we have met many times in recent months following other North Korean provocations, most recently, just last week, in response to its reckless missile test over Japan. Yesterday's nuclear test explosion was by far the largest yet. Combined with the increasing range of its missiles, North Korea poses a threat not simply to its region, but truly to global peace and security.
So, yeah, even the UK is on that.
I mean, now, the UK, I would totally believe what the fuck the UK has to say before I believe anything France has to say.
I mean, France was all on board with that, but they also still like said that we need to have more dialogue, but that they're getting out of control and that they're kind of like at it too, like, which I found really impressive from them.
Kevin, what do you have to say about it?
Pew pew pew. Oh man, it's good.
Wait, this is what you're thinking? Like this?
Maybe.
Paint mist everywhere.
It's gonna be definitely interesting. The next couple of years, probably. But the fun.
Yeah, I mean, so do you really think that like North Korea has the balls to really fuck with America like that? Like literally. I mean, not thinking like, oh, Kim Jong-un's talking a big thing on social media. Think about like the repercussions from that. Do you really think that tiny country has the balls to do anything? Because they got to worry about South Korea, like I said. They have to worry about Japan.
They're brainwashed.
They have to worry about,
basically.
There's so many countries they have to worry about. And China's already said, pretty much, if North Korea attacks, they're not backing North Korea if they attack.
Yeah.
It'd be
yeah,
economic suicide. It'd be economic suicide. If China
it would
North Korea. Economically, China would be done. So China's not trying to lose any money.
It would be
now, if we initiated the attack, of course, China's going to jump in. And they're going to back North Korea. But if North Korea does it, China doesn't want nothing to do with that shit.
But they're also the ones that said in the UN Council meeting that they believe that it's the rhetoric of both sides that is causing the problem that we're having today. Like they straight up said that.
What rhetoric? What rhetoric? How is America?
It's all the
what has America done to China? Like literally.
It's Donald Trump street. Oh, it's all the tweets. Like I'm gonna fire and fury.
So with the tweets, and I'm going to go into the tweets.
Well,
we're going to
real
kind
quick,
of go
North Korea blames it also on the show of force stuff, because like an exercise, they're like, oh my god, they're preparing to launch war. We're gonna be at full fucking steam ahead, just in case you guys have one bullet fly over here.
Full steam ahead.
One bullet.
Yeah, dude, North Korea's Navy would get destroyed by our Navy. But but here's the thing with tweets, man. So Donald Trump is the first president that connects with the people that voted for him directly through tweets.
That's true.
So back in the day, you used to be able to go to the White House and walk in the door and talk to the president.
Way back.
I think it was before Lincoln. Yeah, way back in the day, the White House was open.
When the population in America was like tiny.
But I'm just saying, hear me out. So back then, you used to be able to walk into the White House, go talk to the president, tell him your grievance. Donald Trump is using Twitter in that aspect. Here's the thing. Twitter deletes all types of accounts, right? Don't they? They'll delete your account, boom, like that. Why don't they delete the president's account? If it's that controversial,
traffic.
Why do they leave the
traffic?
Think about it.
Okay. That is a whole topic for a whole episode that I really wish to talk about, like to dive into. Like that would be no. That would be awesome. Like I'm just thinking of the fallout of like, oh my god, did you hear Twitter like just deleted Trump's account? Really?
Yeah, but if his tweets are that bad and that controversial, why doesn't Twitter just delete his account?
Right? Like we consider everything Donald Trump puts out as hate speech. So
Donald Trump through Twitter is talking directly to the people that support him. And the haters are following him too. So he's talking to them all. And he's telling you what he's going to do before he does it, which a president is supposed to do. I'm going to do this.
Well, I mean, I also give it to Donald Trump is that he has a better understanding of what OPSEC means than any other president we've had in recent memory. So, like, Kevin, we'll at least go with that.
Kevin, but what do you think about Donald Trump and his tweets?
It's a lot of them. I don't tweet that often. I retweet a lot. I don't really pay attention too much to tweets and stuff. Yeah, I'm a very big retweeter.
He's a retweeter. Like I'm the same way.
I got into the Twitter game a little bit. And Twitter is a boring game, but I learned from a friend, if you want real time what's going on in the world, tweeting is the way to go.
It's less riffraff. I mean, there's still a lot of riffraff.
I wanted to go back to this.
Less.
Right.
And you can see nudes.
So one of the things
Babies.
One of the things that I wanted to bring up about North Korea, though, is what Putin's been saying about the whole issue. And he's saying like he spoke at China on Tuesday to talk about this, and he cautioned against military hysteria. I'll put that in quotes, and it's like military hysteria, and that the only way to resolve this crisis was through diplomacy. Really? I mean, you totally took over Ukraine and Crimea, right? Like, and you're like, no, we need to solve things diplomatically. Like, dude, you took over almost a part of a country and annexed it to Russia. No, you don't get to talk about that. Like, he said also that he warned that North Korea leader Kim Jong-un has calculated the survival of his regime depends on the development of nuclear weapons. Kim has seen how Western intervention in Iraq had ended in the overthrow of Saddam, after which the country was ravaged by war. Putin warned, and Kim was determined not to suffer the same fate. So basically, he didn't want to get drug out in the street and hung. Yeah, that's kind of what he doesn't want to happen. Like Gaddafi.
I believe Putin plays both sides, man. I believe that.
I mean, he's the fucking KGB.
He's
of course
a KGB
he does.
Guy. He knows how to play on emotions. He knows.
He hunts bears with his shirt off.
I think it's funny.
He rides bears. He rides bears, dude. How many fucking presidents? I saw this meme today. It was Putin swimming through the freaking waters of Houston, rescuing people. Yeah,
oh wow! I'm not surprised about that. It's like
Putin's Putin, man. He's gonna say what he has to say, but you have to always think, man. You have to always understand that someone is interpreting what he's saying, or what's the word I'm looking for? He's talking in Russian, so he's translating. So someone is translating what he says through the mainstream media. So when I tell people, I say, man, think about what you're hearing. Yeah, he may have said it. He may have not said it, but someone is translating that shit here in the United States. So maybe he said it. Yeah, someone's translating it here.
I agree with you, and it's this thing that I've always said about Putin is like the guy's smart, and like when the whole voting system thing came up about like him rigging the election, I was just like, okay, it's plausible. I mean, he was a spy. But if he really did it, do you think he would ever do it?
He's KGB.
He was the president. And
like, honestly, he would never be caught. Yeah.
He's probably listening right now. Yeah. It's okay.
Oh, totally.
We're not talking bad about you. You know?
All right.
Murder.
Anyway, just to close that out is that Putin knows that Kim doesn't want to be overthrown. He doesn't want to see his regime overthrown, and he's going to do it. Like, Kim's going to do what he thinks he's going to do in order to protect himself. He doesn't give a shit about his people. He's going to do what he wants. Always.
The people want to see Kim overthrown. That's the thing. Everyone is almost like the Nazis. They're forced to praise their leader. And the majority of North Koreans want to see that little spoiled bastard dead. They want to see him gone. And, there's going to be an uprising. And all it takes is a spark. And if Kim did that, say he did strike Guam, just like America does best, we will move in with special operations and we will do what we have to do. And there will be factions in there, just like every other country that wants to get rid of certain faction. So Kim's got to really think about what he's saying.
We'd send Team America World Police in.
America World Police.
Right. Or just send a fleet of.
Yeah, dude, it'd take, I'm telling you, that little ass country, it's smaller than Iraq, tiny, isn't it?
It's super tiny.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
It would take, I would give them a couple of hours from the initial strike, from initial forces being in that country for us to take it. For us to take Pyongyang,
as long as it's not in winter.
Yeah, here's my thing. Let's not try to take and rebuild. Let's destroy, and let the people rebuild. Give them money. Hey.
Well, I mean, actually, we wouldn't have to because it would be reunification, and South Korea would just take over.
South Korea would move back in. They would just like Berlin, the Berlin Wall. They would shut down the DMZ.
Yeah, no, it would be reunification,
and they'd be like, "You guys are part of us. We're going to give you money. We're going to help you rebuild. And you're going to create, mayors here. There's only." And
then China would
China would come in and be like, "You know what? We're going to fuck up Korea, and then we'd be in another war." But Kim, he's a little spoiled, fat little bastard. with a freaking stupid haircut.
North Korea is about the size of Florida, size-wise, roughly.
Yeah, so how long would it literally take for America to run through that?
And if you look through the satellite pictures,
think about
like at nighttime,
it wouldn't
very
take
few lights compared to like South Korea.
Yeah, I mean, think about.
I really
Thunder
don't think
runs. We
long.
took Baghdad the second time in what?
Nah, it's a
couple days. Iraq.
Yeah. It was a couple of months in total, like the first push, I think.
What, Thunder runs?
No, I mean to take from all the way from south all the way north. It took a couple.
Oh,
months.
okay, yeah. And then once we took it, man, we got into Baghdad and it was quick. Boom.
Yeah.
They were giving up quicker than shit, and I guarantee Pyongyang they would give up quicker than shit.
Right.
And then little Koreans be like, oh, no, we don't want to fight though, you. No, we were. My grandparents told me no. Huh? We will remember the first war. We don't want to fuck. Yeah, don't do it, dude.
Just don't do it. All right, so
you guys are gonna be fucking listening to motherfucking Snoop Dogg by next week,
right? So, Mike, I hear you have a awesome Blue Falcon story to close us out for today.
All right, so yeah, true story. So this guy wrote to the Hooch Podcast at gmail.com, and it's from the time I was a drill sergeant, so it was close to Family Day, and I'm going to read what he said. I'm not going to give my version of the story. So he goes, this story I believe you know personally. See, about 5 years ago when I was in basic training.
What a loser.
He said instructor. What the fuck? Drill sergeant.
Loser.
Yeah, I know. I'm not an instructor. I'm a sergeant. We had a private lose boot. We were threatened by you, UCMJ, if the boot was not returned in a timely manner, and come to find out it was inside. Damn, I should have fucking edited this shit. Inside of the store, the closet, due to being out of order. Lo and behold, someone had taken a shit in the kid's boot. As a platoon, we were told we would not be allowed to graduate until someone came forward and admitted the heinous act.
Yeah. Heinous act of deucing.
Heinous, yeah. Man, I'm a grunt, dude. The heinous act
of deucing.
Yeah. Deucing. Took a deuce.
Or is it deucing?
No, it's deucing.
Deucing?
Yeah, it's totally deucing.
In Keller's boot. After several hours of being put on the spot, eventually one guy came forward and admitted to doing something simply because he didn't like the guy. Nastiest, funniest shit. Probably happened in my entire life, but this is a true story. So I remember the kid. So he's a little.
So you didn't like the kid either,
and I didn't like this motherfucker. And
that kid.
No, I remember the kid that took the shit in the boot.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I didn't. This little motherfucker. So I remember, man. So I'm going up in my bay, right before graduation, Family Day. They're shining up the bay, man. They're just doing all types of shit. So this one private comes up to me, goes, "Drill sergeant, I missed one of my boots." I'm like, "Well, find your fucking boot, private." He goes, "Drill sergeant, I don't know where it's at." I'm like, so I'll go upstairs. I'm looking around. I'm like, "Hey, where's this private's boot?" All the privates are sitting there. I'm like, "Fuck." So he goes, "Drill sergeant, I found my boot. It's got a turd in it." I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" He goes, "No, drill sergeant, somebody shit in my boot." I'm like, "Well, are you fucking kidding me?" So I get, I'm like, "Total line, motherfucker." I don't know if you guys do that, Coy. Total line in Marine Corps.
What is that? What is that one? Like, what do you do in that action?
That means if you're in the bay and you have the kill zone, everyone gets their toes on the line where the drill sergeant walks up and down.
It's like get in front of your racks, more or less, or you're going to the quarter deck, like either one of those. Like, that's what it is.
Yeah, so we call it total line. I'm like, "Total line, motherfuckers." So I'm like, who the fuck shit in this fucking boot? I didn't have the boot. This dude's just standing there and everybody's quiet. I'm like, "All right, motherfuckers," just like he said. I was like, "All right, none of you motherfuckers are going to graduation. None of you motherfuckers." And they're all males because it was a male bay. The females were in another bay. So they're like, this one guy came forward, "Drill sergeant, I did it." I'm like, "You dumb motherfucker." I almost tried to get that motherfucker news started. I tried to get him fucking dropped, get him news started. Sergeant Major was like, "No," he didn't say it like this. He goes, "No, Sergeant, you cannot Nustatim. Fuck that. Let him graduate. There's a Puerto Rican accent I try to do.
Okay.
But, and here's the thing. So,
No way.
Afghanistan 2014. Guess
Shitty
who the fuck
boot
I
or
run into?
poop?
That guy.
Pooper.
No, yes way. I run into this motherfucker S1 in processing my ass in a special forces fucking camp. So I go in there and this motherfucker, I'm looking at this motherfucker. He goes, holy shit. And his sergeant's like, what? He goes, that was my fucking drill sergeant. I'm like, yeah, motherfucker. Remember you shit in somebody's fucking boot? And his sergeants were like, you shit in somebody's fucking boot. He's a piece of shit. You're right.
Group?
You're right. He's a piece of shit. I'm like, yeah, he was a piece of shit. Yeah, dude. He wasn't in group. He
that's happened to be there. He was attached.
He was admin for the group. So yeah, he was in a special forces battalion, but he wasn't. He was a pogue. He just did their paperwork. And I was like, literally, dude, you shit like a turd in this dude's boot just because you didn't like him. Wow. And like literally, I wish I could have took a picture of this guy's face. He has that face that you don't like.
He just through it.
You ever see somebody's face? You're like,
I don't like you.
I don't like you.
I don't like you.
I don't like your fucking face. If I can shit on your face, I would.
Yeah.
I want to go back in time and punch your great grandfather in the face to keep your face from fucking being formed.
I'm gonna hit you so hard your grandchildren will feel it.
I'm gonna hit you so hard your grandfather's face will change, and then when I come back in the future, your face will look different.
What if you hit somebody so much in the past,
I might like you a little bit,
grandpa or grandma, that they were related to you and your Hispanic side, and then your face would be distorted as well.
Will I be in Mexico right now? Listen to Selena's.
Oh, man.
But here's the thing: what if you punch somebody so hard in the face
that
their face flew off and landed on somebody else's face? Would you punch that person in the face?
Now we're gonna get just something ridiculous. Anyway, we are out of time for this week, guys. Thank you for listening to us. I want to thank Kevin for coming on with us again. Hope to have you on sooner. We'll probably have him on next week. I don't know. He has nothing better to do with your life.
Hey,
this might be a threesome one day.
Oh, there you go. That'd be nice. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining the Hooch. We hope you come back next week and listen to all the more shenanigans and face punching and A10 sounds. So.
Bless you, because I heard you sneeze. It's okay.
Say again, bless me.
Hey,
yes, I did. That was my ass, actually. I farted. When you train your farts to sneeze, you win.
I don't even know what that means. Anyway, goodbye, America. Okay, America.
We love you guys.